like.
Yeah,
it's not up there with the major sport, but
No.
it's
definitely growing though. It's growing because especially just from
it's like in the background.
Yeah, I mean when there is a big time fight like a Connor fight or a John Jones fight, it's going to get some talk. But obviously, if you're talking about the lower cards in this. And this will finally segue us into some fight talk, but we got some more news as far as that. Basically, MMA events can now start happening now, in the state of Nevada, and I believe we got the confirmation a few days ago that the commission there has now approved for Dana White and the UFC to be running events consistently at their Apex Center, which is pretty much their WWE Performance Center. So we're going to be essentially seeing events there from now until we finally with the crowds are allowed back then. So I mean, you knew that this was going to be coming soon, especially with everything opening up, and that's still the fight capital of the world there, Matt. And I do think as soon as Dana finds some city, some state that's going to take a chance and say, hey, we are having crowds back, he's going there, whether it's Texas, Maine, New Hampshire, South Dakota, wherever, even if it's in a pretty low market. I don't think he's going to exactly care. I mean, like if there is one thing about Dana White.
Is this just for no crowds at the point?
Yeah.
If there's no crowds, it doesn't matter where you fight. Are you saying,
or
were you just saying
no,
when there was crowds coming back?
Like once they start accepting crowds back, he will go essentially anywhere to basically have that, and with them being sanctioned. But I believe he said that Fight Island is supposedly happening in July, so hopefully within the next few weeks we'll get something on that. And I believe that they just applied for a trademark I think a few days ago, UFC C or something like that. It's apparently a joke because John Oliver apparently took a jab at like Dana White and the company for basically putting on events and stuff. And basically Dana just called him out and said, hey dude, we tested over like basically laying out all of the specifics, and outside of Jacare Souza and his two coaches, no one else tested positive. So like that's where that whole thing comes from. But I'm just excited that we are going to be having consistent cards now, whether with or without fans, because I think it's pretty clear, Matt, these without crowds work way better than say with wrestling, where it's nowhere near as awkward.